Is there something you really want to get done, something you dream of achieving because you know it would make such a positive difference in your life? Then it's vital you set yourself up for success with these 5 do's and don'ts that we'll discuss in today's episode. Welcome to the Empowered Expat Woman Show, the place to celebrate your courage, inspire you to dream and play bigger, and support you in creating a truly fulfilled life across borders. I'm your host, Camila Quintana, and I believe your future is too important to get lost in translation. So, are you ready to make the most of your life abroad? Then let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome back. So last week we talked about the importance of healthy ambition and accomplishments. But all too often I see women, including myself, let life or things or people get in the way of that. You see, we tend to take on way too many responsibilities. We say yes to so many things. Sometimes we even push ourselves to pursue goals that don't really light us up. Now, the problem is that whenever we do that, and if you think back, you'll notice that in your life, you will end up feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, unappreciated, and drained. And that clearly isn't setting yourself up for success, right? And what's more is that when you frequently fail to achieve the goals you set for yourself, you will start doubting yourself. And when self-doubt creeps in, it cracks open that dusty, dirty cellar door to, let's say, very unhelpful thoughts that maybe you weren't capable enough, you weren't smart enough, maybe you weren't hardworking enough, or maybe there's something wrong with you. And we all know those mean voices that can take over our inner dialogue, right? So it's dangerous territory. And if that wasn't enough, once the trust in yourself and in your capabilities is eroded, you will likely find it more and more difficult to see projects through and to even get started. And that is such a waste of your potential. I want to see you be successful in what you set out to do, whether that's a goal of personal or professional nature, a health or a lifestyle or parenting related goal, or something related to your next relocation. I want you to be successful. So stay with me until the end of this episode to learn about 5 important do's and don'ts when it comes to setting yourself up for success. All right, so before tackling the recommendations, let's look at what might be holding you back from success. Because if you can bring that to your awareness, you can do something about it, right? So what do you think stands in the way of reaching your goals? Keep this question in the back of your mind while I tell you about the things that I frequently see in my clients, in my surroundings, and in myself. All right, so the number one thing that stands in the way of you and your success is that you're not clear on what you want, why you want it, or how you plan to get there. You know, there's the saying, if you don't know where you're headed, no road will take you there. And it's so true. Every time I feel stuck and unable to move forward, I find it's because of a lack of clarity. Like I always say, clarity leads to confidence, and confidence leads to inspired action. It's a sequence, and we often skip this very important first step of getting crystal clear. So if this rings a bell, or if you can't answer what it is you want, why or how you plan to get there in a few very concise sentences, then it's time to go back to the drawing board. Maybe take out a journal and start writing about it. Or if you're a more communicative type, you might need to grab someone to verbally process your ideas to get that clarity and conviction you need to go forward. And by the way, if you're looking for a trained sparring partner to do this with, you can book a free 45-minute consultation with me at www.camilaquintana.com/call. This is a free gift to you. It's not a sales call. And we'll make sure to get to the bottom of what it is you want and why. And I can promise you, after having done so many of these calls, that you will leave with some clear action steps outlined, some aha moments, and really valuable insights. So please take advantage of this offer and book your clarity call at camillaquintana.com/call. All right. Now, number two of things that stand in the way of your success is that the demands of daily expat life keep you distracted. I mean, you're already navigating so much, right? Different cultures, customs, lifestyle. You're communicating in a different language that's not your mother tongue. You need to overcompensate to make sure your family's needs are met. In a foreign environment, you face the challenges of not having a support system. You have to build a network and find friends in a new country from scratch. Or maybe you're simply dealing with homesickness and loneliness that so many expats experience. You got a lot going on, girl. I know that. And all of that can easily cloud your clarity and inspiration for moving your life forward. But also, and I want you to be honest with yourself, you may be prioritizing the seemingly urgent things over the things that really matter in the long run. And that can wear you out and take you out. Can you relate to that? Then, number three of what stands in the way of you and your success is that you might be very tuned in to what others need and expect from you. This is such a common challenge experienced by foreigners as they try to, live between worlds and try to meet the demands of their local host country, but also their home culture, and they're just, trying to be everything to everyone. It's also the story of every mom's and caretaker's life. And we know that as soon as we start focusing on ourselves and put ourselves first, we'll quickly feel guilty and we're even told that we're selfish. But focusing outward on others' needs, on others' demands of you, and other people's thoughts on what you should do makes it really hard to connect with your inner happy place, as I like to call it, your inner truth and your guidance system, your intuition. It will also add layers of coulds, shoulds, musts on top of what you really want in your life. And as a result, you lose yourself. You lose your clarity in your path. Then number four is that you might be comparing yourself to others. So instead of looking forward and finding your unique goals and steps and ways, you're looking at what others are doing, right? You compare yourself to people who are not you, and you allow that to suck the joy out of you. Comparison is a thief of joy. So keep your eyes on the goal and don't let them stray left and right to what others are doing unless it's for research or out of pure curiosity. Number five is that maybe you are a multi-passionate person with many different, seemingly unrelated interests and experiences. So if you're feeling stuck, it might be because you've been led to believe that you don't have a real zone of genius. Actually, you have different ones, and they're just waiting to be tapped into and connected in original ways. Multi-passionate people are amazingly adaptive, but having so many interests and skills can also be distracting and make you lose focus. So you need to make sure that you find the common link, a common theme that spans over all of your different interests, like an umbrella, I like to say. And then you focus on that umbrella under which you can have, different activities and different tasks and different vehicles, but it's all related to one theme. Can you resonate with these five pitfalls? And if so, what can be done about it? How can you make sure now to stay on track and get to where you're headed? Well, let me give you 5 tips that have really helped me personally as well as my clients. Number 1, don't start without being 100% committed to your goal. Because in order to set yourself up for success, in order to deal with any setbacks along the way or difficult moments that will come, If the goal is compelling enough, it will create this natural sense of responsibility to achieve it, whatever that takes. It's a sort of, I must do this. I cannot not do this kind of feeling. But if you find that you're not actually 100% committed, then it's really not fair to yourself or to your goal. Because what will happen is that you're halfway committed. You'll give it a halfway try with halfway passion. And when then that doesn't work out, you'll either go, oh, I've tried that before, didn't work, so I won't try it again. Or you'll internalize it. You will feel bad about yourself for not achieving it when really you didn't stand a chance. Not that way, at least. Right? So commitment really is key. And if you don't feel 100% committed to your goal right now, you can try this. First, can you make the goal more exciting and compelling? What would it need to look like in order to be inspiring enough for you? Remember, we talked about 10xing in my last episode, right? Then also ask yourself, why is this goal even important to me? And is it really important to me? Or is it something that you think you should do? Because it's okay to change your mind. It's okay to say, you know what? I thought I wanted this, but I actually don't. And actually, it's important to be able to do so and to be really, really honest with yourself here. Then another way that you can make sure your goal becomes more compelling and inspiring is by asking, how will this benefit others? How will this affect my loved ones, my community? Because if it doesn't really affect anyone, maybe the goal is simply lacking depth and essence or value. And also when other people are positively affected by your goal, not just you, that's such a big motivator. And it will allow you to get out of your head and into action more because there are people out there depending on you and your action, right? So please make sure you're committed. And if not, either change the goal to be worthy of your full commitment or drop it. It's not worth wasting your energy on something you don't really want. Speaking of energy, my second tip to set yourself up for success is to foster a high energy attitude and a positive state of mind. This is so important to me personally, and funny enough, my energy is one of the things my clients comment the most on and something I deeply nourish for myself and within myself. You can improve your energy, and by that I mean that vibe in which you'll show up and you'll act. You could improve that by many different things. For instance, by being really authentic, allowing yourself to be as you are and accepting that. Also by cultivating positive emotions. I achieved that through a little exercise I developed that I named the counter thought. And I will link my blog post about it in the show notes. It's a really old post, but it's just as valid today as back then. Basically, you get into the habit of following up every negative thought with a positive, or at least a neutral one, right? And I'll explain in that blog post. Then also gratitude. Gratitude is such a powerful way to change your state. So dedicate several minutes or moments each day to really dwell in the things you're grateful for, big and small. Having a healthy lifestyle, watching what food you eat, that you move sufficiently, that you limit your exposure to harmful things, whatever they are, and anything that's making you feel weaker emotionally or physically. When you are in an elevated state of mind, you will feel more optimistic, more resourceful, more resilient, more willing to go the extra mile. You'll be kinder with yourself and with others, and you'll feel better about yourself, about your life, and about your goal. Number 3 is set goals and be accountable. You can't really measure your success if you don't set very concrete goals, right? Because then you can check in and see if you've accomplished them or not. I started doing something which is called the 2-week sprints, right? So within my long-term vision that I have and my long-term goals, I create bi-weekly sprints for myself. And so I will write a few lines into a journal every day or every night when the day has passed about what I've done that was relevant for that sprint. And then after every 2 weeks, I evaluate whether I've reached my goal or not and why not, which is also really interesting to look at, right? And correct. The number four, my fourth tip, is to ask yourself really powerful questions. One question I love and that I should use much more in my life is this. If I could do only one thing today to take me towards my goal, one single thing, what would that be? Watch how effective you'll become when you start doing what will actually make a difference and move you forward. Another powerful question is the 10x concept that I told you about previously by Grant Cardone. How can I 10x my goal? And what kind of 10x efforts and actions would it take to reach that goal? That will really allow you to think bigger and take massive action. Also, if you have a role model of some sort, it could be a real life or historic or even fiction role model, you could ask yourself, what would she or he do in my position in order to reach success? And I'm curious, do you have a power question? And if not, what could be yours? I'd love to know, so leave me a comment about that. And then my fifth tip is to create conditions for success. And it's as simple as that. Eliminate distractions, set alarms, write down your to-dos instead of letting them swirl around in your head. Put some music on if that motivates you. Read books about the skills and traits you'll need to reach that goal. Surround yourself with positive people, supportive people that will help you on that journey. Distance yourself from those who won't actually do that, or you might even not even want to share your goals with these people because they'll only put you down. And also, don't forget to celebrate your successes and the insights that you've gotten thanks to your setbacks. Now, these were my 5 do's and don'ts that will help you to set yourself up for success and reach whichever goal you set for yourself. I wish you the best of luck in all of your endeavors. And next week, I'll tell you all about how you can now really get into action and move towards your goals effectively. Okay, so stay tuned for that. And don't forget, if you like this episode, please comment, like it, and share it with your expat besties. I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.